Hello and welcome back to Open and Collect. I'm Bruce. We're going to go over the reserve list stuff today. Finally getting around to making the second video. And why I'm, I guess, a little upset with Wizards. Backstory, I was in Magic originally summer 95 to summer 98. Then I was all the way out of it till Exelon in September of 2017. So all of these changes happened while I was gone. So when I came back in 2017, the reserve lists were spiking, all that great stuff. And I was like, hey, I got all these cards. Let's see what's going on. And then I realized, these were removed. And I'm like, what? Why were these removed? So we did some looking. And nobody seems to cover this. They kind of just glance over it. They all tell you to invest in reserve list because they never get reprinted. Yet we have 24 cards right here that were on the reserve list that have been reprinted, or most of them have been. I think there's one on here that has not. But I want to cover it. This is going to be important for both investors and players, because this, in my opinion, is what everything hinges on. If the investors allow them to just reprint stuff, then you can't really stand behind the reserve list. And this isn't the first time they've reprinted stuff. We can bring in some other examples here. I guess we had this one here, right? And then, hold on, this one here. They reprinted those from the Vault edition, right? And that got a big firestorm. I guess that was in 2010, as far as I can see. Yeah, it looks like August of 2010 is when they came out with that one, from the Vault Relics. At least for the Mox Diamond. The Phyrexian Negator was in a dual deck, so yeah, whatever. I would assume the Mox Diamond is the reason why most people got upset with that. But listen through my rambling, because I think it's going to be important to both. Oh boy, more orders. Let me turn that off. I don't need that going nuts through the whole video. Alright. What we started with. Alright. Wizards. I guess Hasbro purchased them in, looks like, September of 99. So that's when everything's going to start changing, right? And I guess if you don't believe me or you didn't watch the other video, the reason why I'm so upset is because the reserve list was given to us in this magazine. And let me flip to it here. Page 90. Alright, yep. Card reprint policy. And here you go. You can see Berserk, Camouflage, Clone, Consecrate Land, Soul Ring, Sinkhole, all of these. They're all on here. Alright. So then Hasbro buys Wizards. In September of 99, they immediately decided to do this. Late September. They're about to release Mercadian Mass. And then as you can see here, so as of October 1st, they're going to reserve the right to reprint Mercadian Mass. Okay, so basically they're doing away with the reserve list at this point. And you can see the cards are still on here. Oh, let's see here. There we go. You got your Basalt Monolith, Berserk, Camouflage, Clone, all the stuff. All the way down, and then we'll go up to, where's the rest of it? What? Where's the rest of it? Did this print weird? Oh wow, okay, it's on this side. That's interesting. Alright, so the rest of ABU comes in here. But they're still on there, Soul Ring, Sinkhole, all that stuff. Okay, so 99, that's what happened. I'm okay with that revision. That revision doesn't bother me. It's a company, they made the reserve list. They decided to not print anymore. They came out with that announcement before the set that's going to be affected came out, because Mercadian Mass came out September of 99 or October of 99. So they came out as that set was releasing. So there's no problem there. This is the problem. In 2002, they decided to do this. Which is where they decided to take them off the list. As you notice, they're not on there anymore. your Basalt Monolith, your Berserk, Camouflage, Clone, your Soul Ring, your Sinkhole. They're not on here anymore. Well, what happened? Why did, what, anybody know? I don't know. I wasn't in the industry at the time. The only thing I've dug around on was got this. I don't know who this is. But the only thing I've been able to find was commons and uncommons from Alpha Beta were removed from the reserve list due to overwhelming public support for this change. Alright. Easy enough. Overwhelming public support. This is where the players should be interested. Overwhelming public support. So does that mean that the people wanted the cards? That's my only take on what would be the support to remove a card from the reserve list unless you want to reprint it eventually. So that's where the players need to think about it and be like, hey Wizards, you removed all these due to overwhelming support. Why can't you do it for, let's say, here we go, some more visual effects, which was the thumbnail. Why not this? Because I'm assuming, let's see if I can put this down without messing up the ones below it. I'm assuming that everybody's talking about your dual lands. That's just my take, but who knows? I don't know what people want. And maybe this is just a very small percentage that are squeaking that want it reprinted. Who knows? But this is my point. They didn't reprint it. So what they did, let's see, the first printing, Clone. Here we go. I got a little cheat sheet off to the side here. Clone. This card was reprinted in Onslaught, which was October of 02. So just a couple months after they revised this thing, they printed that. The next cards would have been Invisibility and Dwarven Demo. So Dwarven Demo and Invisibility, that came out in 8th edition, which would have been July of 03. Then your next card would have been Juggernaut in 04 and Darksteel, excuse me. Then we have, looks like 05, July of 05, Jade Statue was in 9th edition. Then we have, I think 06, yeah, it looks like 06 we got the, probably Time Spiral, because I've got written down Time Shifted, so I believe that was in Time Spiral. So you had Consecrate Land, and you had Sonic Blast, and you had Resurrection. Let's see, after that, after 06, looks like we go to 09, I think. Yep, looks like 09. That would have been a good card. Demonic Tutor. That was in a dual deck, Divine versus Demonic. Then we had the first from the, well, the first card off of here, Berserk, August of 09, From the Vault Exiled. So that would have been a foil version of it. Let's see the next one, and this is the one that probably destroyed the broke the camel's back thing. Soul Ring, From the Vault Relics, which just so happens that's where they did this one as well, From the Vault Relics. So I'm assuming that, but that was in 2010. Then we have, what's our next one? Looks like September 13. Looks like Regrowth got reprinted. Heroes versus Monsters dual deck. Then we have Commander 13, which was in, looks like November of 13 for Basalt Monolith. And the last one, yep, the last one, Sinkhole, wasn't reprinted until 2016 in Eternal Masters. The rest of them that I didn't cover, which would have been Camouflage, Copper Tablet, Earthbind, False Order, Guardian Angel, Ice Storm, Lance, Living Wall, Nettling Imp, Sacrifice, and that's it. Yeah, those had not been reprinted until the 30th anniversary edition, in which case this one has not been reprinted. So this is no longer on the reserve list. It was at one point, but it still has not been reprinted. So do with that what you want. Now, my issue with all of this is if you're an investor and you want to have the reserve list and bank on that, why do you allow Wizards to do this? You can't. They made a promise that cards wouldn't be on there. I have it in a book. Everybody's got it. You can't erase that. These cards are on the reserve list, but right now they're not. That's a problem in my eyes. And if it's not in your eyes, please explain to me how you justify that. If you allow a company to come out with a policy, and then, we'll change it here, and then, oh, we're gonna go ahead and do some stuff here and change it as well. You know, and then what's the next change that happened after that? That was in 2010, I think, 2016-ish? Or whatever. Mark Rosewater was talking about we're not going to reprint collector's edition. I don't know when that was, but everybody got up in arms over 30th anniversary. At least the investor side did, because they reprinted collector's edition. Well, that's okay. In that original policy, it said that they could do that with the non-standard back. So I don't understand why you want to take their word for it in certain instances, but not in others. So, from the investor standpoint, what I need y'all to do is to push Wizards to put these back on the reserve list. I mean, that makes sense to me. They never should have come off. They need to go back on. If you're that diehard about reserve lists, they should be on there. End of story. If you're a player, you should push Wizards once again. The exact same situation. They reprinted these. Let me rephrase that. They took these off of the reserve list for whatever reason that I can't find except for overwhelming player support. Well, if it truly is overwhelming player support that they want all these dual lands reprinted, why can't they do it again? Explain to me why they were allowed to do this, but they can't do it now. That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's why they need to pick one or the other. You can't just have the company deciding to do what they want when they want. As far as this, to drag in, certain sides. But that's just my thoughts. I honestly don't think, I'll say this at the end of the video, but as far as investing in a reprint, because these are all reprints. This is a mixture of let's see, we got revised, unlimited, revised, unlimited, unlimited, revised, unlimited, and so on. So it's revised and unlimited is what you got here, because those were the last sets that these were in before they decided to come off of the reserve list. But you really shouldn't, in my mind, shouldn't be investing in a reprint. So we got Sinkhole here. This was the last printing when it was originally on the reserve list. So if you invested in this, why are you investing in that? You should probably go with, let's see, we'll go with these. Those are alpha cards. So I got my one, I'm a set collector, so I got my one that goes in my binder. I got, a more beat up copy that we can play with. Then you have your beta. And then you got, well, of course, unlimited. This is collector's edition. Got a set of that. But what's the point? I don't quite grasp. I mean, I guess you're only investing in it because Wizards says they won't reprint it. Which, makes sense. I get it, but I would think you would rather invest in the original stuff. And that's just me, though. And I guess some people, I don't look at it as it's the least printed. It typically is the least printed, but technically, out of these cards here on your screen, the least printed one is this. But it's nowhere near the price of an alpha. And I don't have a international collector's edition because there's half of, this one has about 10,000. The international, I think, has 5,000. So there's even less of the international version, the international collector's edition. So, I don't know. But that's just how I view things, is that I think the originals should be more expensive. And that's what you would invest in, I guess. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Is it just a very small percentage of people that want the stuff reprinted, and that's why they're not going to do anything? I would still, I it really doesn't bother me either way. The cost of the card's going up, you know, just work harder, make more, and save up for it. It's all good. But on the other hand, I can see where it's like, well, if you don't want to reprint stuff, then people are just gonna proxy the stuff, and I don't like that either. Because in my mind, if you're gonna proxy $1,000 card, well, why not proxy a 500? If you're gonna do that, why not 100? Do that. Why not $10? Why not $5? Why not proxy anything down to the cost of a proxy? What's a proxy cost? 50 cents. So anything over 50 cents in the brand new set that comes out, they're just gonna proxy it. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like leading people that way. I'd prefer to have your expensive cards, your original printing, okay, original printing, and then have a version that's less. That's just what I think, though. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.